Have you ever stopped to think that maybe the only thing between you and a millionaire life is your head? It may seem hard, but the truth is that wealth does not start in the bank account, it begins in the mindset. And look, that explains why so many people keep skating in the same place, even trying everything. It's not unlucky, it's not a crisis, no lack of luck. It is thinking too small in a game that requires bold vision, sharp goals and world-class management. While some are concerned with surviving what they give, others are busy building legacies, dominating management tools, enchanting customers, and pursuing the famous extraordinary profit with almost religious obsession. There is no mystery businessmen who think great grow. Those who think small, remain small even after years in the market. This is the silent difference between those who play the game of big people and who is still playing entrepreneur. But if you're here, it's because you're ready to turn the key. Enough of thinking like who just wants to pay ticket. It's time to think as a millionaire. In this content, you will understand why your mindset defines your result, how to get into the real game of high performance, and what separates those who lead from the top of those who live out the fire. Just continue if you have the courage to hear what no one had to tell you. There are entrepreneur who spends his entire life finding himself visionary just because he opened a company. But let me tell you an uncomfortable truth: open a CNPJ doesn't mean you're in the real game. Small entrepreneurs are still small because they think small. Because they are content with little, they live out fire and call it management. It is like trying to become Formula 1 champion driving a Beetle 74, missing bold vision, clear goal, lack of leadership. And here is a reality shock: it is not enough to have business mindset. This anyone who issues note already has. The question is to have a winning mindset, one that faces front competitiveness, which refuses to operate in subsistence mode. Who plays to survive lives suffocated, who plays to win transforms. And the difference is not in resources, but in the mindset with which the business itself is steered. Every little businessman has a business mindset, but only a minority plays to win. The others, honestly, are still in the phase of playing. They think they are growing, but they are only spinning in circles, stuck to amateur processes, reactive decisions, and shy goals. Without focus, no management; without transformation, the result, of course, never surprises. And then the warning comes in: while the mindset does not change, revenues do not change either. The business world is not a recreation room, it is a battlefield. And if your company really wants to grow, you need to stop playing yellow duckling in the bathtub and start playing what we call the big people game, JGG. Do you know that gross, strategic and intense sport like football? And that high performance, blow and absolute focus on the result. But instead of a helmet and shoulder, here protection is management, mentality and sharp goals. Unfortunately, many entrepreneurs are still playing the wrong game. While the market requires competitiveness, extraordinary delivery and efficient processes, they are busy with operational tasks that any intern would do better. They think they are doing everything when, in fact, they are being sucked by a company without structure, no goals and no leadership. And the worst, they find it normal. This is the portrait of incompetence disguised as effort. JGG requires a deep transformation you can't get on the field with amateur mentality. It takes bold vision, real management tools and goals that make the team sweat. Entrepreneur who wants to win is not distracted by a trifle, he focuses on what matters: growth, extraordinary profit and world-class management. The rule is clear: either you learn to play like the big ones or keep watching the bench while your business game passes. There are people who start company just to not have a boss. And it's okay to start like this. But if after years the focus is still only paying for slips, changing car and buying a house so something is out of place. This is not undertaking, it is to survive. A company that only spins to ensure the owner's livelihood is condemned to mediocrity. It is the classic case of those who play the livelihood game, while the world needs people playing to transform. The businessman who plays for real does not see the business as an ATM, but as an impact platform. He understands that the company needs to have soul, purpose, mission. And not any mission, but a bold mission that moves people and creates a legacy. This is the difference between selling product and building history. Between thinking about profit of the month and thinking about the world that will leave when leaving the scene. Every really large company has a clear and transformative mission. Something that goes far beyond make money. Because when the purpose is powerful, he attracts good people, inspires the team, loyal customers and, of course, generates extraordinary profit. It is the domino effect of the mission mentality. So if your business is still just a way to pay the bills, it may be time to review the game you are playing. Company that has no bold vision is condemned to live from the past or, at most, routine. And let's combine routine without direction is just repetition without purpose. The bold vision is one that points to such a big future that it gets cold in the belly but also shines the eyes. It is she who takes the businessman out of autopilot and puts the company on a real growth route. Those who have no vision play a child game. You can't play the game of big people targeting low. Bold vision is not delirium, it is map. She needs to be clear, communicable, inspiring, the kind that the team listens and thinks, it's hard, but it's worth it. When the entrepreneur knows where he wants to go, the decisions become more strategic, the focus aligns, and even the mistakes make sense. Without it, the business becomes a collection of loose tasks and efforts that don't connect. If your vision is still increasing revenue and having more customers, I'm sorry to say you're playing the wrong game. This is the minimum. The bold vision needs to be disruptive, impactful, mission face. Something that challenges the market and the team itself. And if you don't have it yet, start today. Reflect on what you really want to build for the next 10 years and be bold enough to bother you to yourself. You may even have a bold vision, but without the right tools it doesn't get out of paper. It's like wanting to win Formula 1 with a roller cart. In the game of big people, those who do not use robust management tools, intelligent processes, and strategic technology simply do not compete. Great players use software for control, dashboards for analysis, methodology for execution. It's not about working anymore, it's about working right. Take the example of Formula 1. A car enters the box and, in 2 seconds, the tires are changed and the car is already back on the track. This is only possible with millimeter-structured processes, a trained team and high-performance tools. And do you know the most curious? This excellence can and should be applied to your business. Want to climb? So stop depending on broken spreadsheets and start operating with world-class management. Powerful tools are those that save time, reduce error, increase productivity, and ensure predictability. And you don't have to start giant. Start mapping your processes. The important thing is to understand that without structure, there is no extraordinary delivery. And in the real game, it doesn't survive who tries to guess, survives who measures, analyzes, and adjusts with surgical precision. In the game of big people, loose goal is invitation to failure. And unfortunately, most entrepreneurs still operate with goals such as let's see what is this month. This is not a goal, it is poorly formulated desire. Clear and sharp goals work like GPS, they show where you are going and what you need to do there. Without them, the focus is lost, the team disperses and the results become a lottery. Businessman who defines goals like I want to grow or I need to sell more is asking to frustrate. Serious goals are specific, measurable, with defined and clear deadlines. They challenge without crushing, mobilize the team and force the business to evolve. And most importantly, sharp goals force the entrepreneur to leave the comfort zone and face the truth. Donates to those who hurt. The only paying the bills is good mindset is completely incompatible with JGG. This is livelihood, not mission. It's like aiming at the floor as the world expects you to pose the stars. So set your goals with courage. Write, review, share with the team. And remember, no sharp goals, what you have is not a company, it's an eternal improvisation. Let's end the myth. Profit is not greed. Profit is a sign of health, efficiency and business intelligence. If your company does not make a profit, it is not fulfilling its role. Point. In the game of big people, extraordinary profit is not a bonus, it is an obligation. It is the direct result of competent management, well-defined goals and a delivery that really delights the customer. What's more, profit is the thermometer of your competitiveness. If you are selling a lot, working like a crazy, but at the end of the month there is little or nothing, there is something very wrong. It can be poorly calculated price, uncontrolled cost, or lack of management. And then comes the businessman's mindset who thinks big, charges what is worth, delivers value and protects the margin. Those who think small, live in damage and still find it normal. There is no sustainable company without profit. It is what ensures reinvestment, growth and look even the social impact. Because yes, you can transform the world but you need to have a box for that. Then face profit as a healthy obsession. Analyze your finances with magnifying glass, optimize processes, review pricing. After all, a company that makes no profit is expensive hobby. And big people game is not a place for amateurism. Do you want to grow? So you need to stop delivering the basics. In the game of big people, what loyalizes is not the product, it is the experience. Successful companies are obsessed with generating the famous customer wow. It is not just about serving well, but of surprising at each point of the journey. From first contact to after sales, everything needs to be designed to make the customer open. Extraordinary surrender is that detail that no one expects but everyone remembers. It is the personalized email, the unexpected gift, the service it resolves even before the complaint arises. It is doing more than you promised. It is to show that your company is not just there to sell, but to create connection. And at this level of delivery, the customer not only buys, he defends, indicates, returns. Bright entrepreneurs know that the most powerful marketing is mouth to mouth, and it only happens when the customer lives a memorable experience. Therefore, involve the whole team in this obsession from the intern to the director. Establish patterns, measure satisfaction, correct the noise. Because in the end, extraordinary surrender is what sustains extraordinary profit. One pulls the other and both start with mindset. Want to know what separates a neighborhood company from a multinational? It is not the size, it is management. You can write down without world-class management, there is no extraordinary profit, no extraordinary delivery, no legacy. And here we are not talking about control with block and pen, but structured processes, efficient systems and leadership with focus on real result. Real management is done with data, with routine, with performance culture. It is to have well-designed processes, mission-aligned people and tools that deliver predictability. There is no high-performance company without clear indicators, constant follow-up and based on decisions. Who decides on the ecometer is asking to fail. And who outsource management also outsides the destination of the business itself. After all this, only one question remains: you will continue to play the yellow duckling game, or are you going to get in the game of big people? The choice is yours. But remember, mentality is not inherited, it is built. And building a winning business mindset requires focus, courage and discipline. It's not about working anymore, it's about thinking better, acting more intelligently and taking command of your legacy. Look at your business with honesty. Are you operating with clear goals, world-class management and obsession with profit and extraordinary delivery? Or do you live in improvisation, erasing fires, thinking that one day things will improve? Because they won't. Transformation only comes when you decide to stop surviving and start leading with bold vision, processes and high performance. So tell me, what is the next step you will take today to get out of the livelihood zone and enter the real game? What decision has been waiting for you for too long? If this content has moved you, it has teased you or snapped you, then subscribe to the channel right now, activate the bell and follow the next videos. Because here, we play to win.